Hi, I'm Kirtana. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more Python tutorial. Okay, imagine this. You're tracking your salary. You note down all the expenses you have done and you figure out the saving that you got left. You can do this simple thing in Python, no problem. But think bigger. If you want to do the same thing, not just for you but for a million people, how are you going to do? Are you going to use the same Python list? Is it fast? So this is where NumPy comes in. NumPy is a powerful tool for managing numbers and large data set. Instead of struggling this in Python, when you have a million of data, NumPy provides an array and these array faster, lighter and more efficient also. Alright, now let me show you an example. Let's say we want to add a million record. First we'll do it with the normal list and then we'll try the same thing with the Python, NumPy. Okay. Now I'm importing NumPy NP and I import time. So don't worry about NumPy right now. I'll explain to you later. First, we'll go to Python list. I have created a 5 million record and I have started the time. Here is the summing operation. I had ended the time. Now we see what this program written. So it returned the time taken by the sum operation. It returned 0.14 millisecond. Now we do the same thing with the NumPy. Here I have created a 5 million record and the same process we are doing here. So see here, it took 0.003 millisecond. Yeah, you will see the differences, right? You can see the differences, right? Python list can do it, but they make more time. NumPy on the other hand is built exactly for this kind of big number crunching. So it's going to be much faster. Now, the big question. Why NumPy? First is performance, and we already saw that in action by summing up 1 million record. Second is interoperability, means NumPy work well with other tools like pandas, machine learning libraries, PyTorch, TensorFlows and so on. Third one is a functionality. NumPy has a lot of inbuilt function for mathematical and statistical operations, so you don't have to write it from scratch. It's already there for you. Now you might think, how is NumPy actually faster? Why does it beat a normal Python? Yeah, Python list is like a big container that can hold anything, number, word, even object. We can store any type of data in a list that you know. Because of that, Python has to do a lot of extra work in the background every time it processes them. NumPy array are different. They only store one type of data and they store it in contiguous memory location right next to each other in memory. That makes it super quick for a computer to go through them. Now I have another question. Which programming language is faster when you comparing with C and Python? Absolutely, C is faster. Because C is a compiled programming language that directly convert to machine code, and whereas a Python is interpreted one, it has an extra layer to run, so it is a little bit slower compared to C. But here NumPy is written in C under the hood, which is very fast programming language, so we can use NumPy in Python. We are actually get the speed of C but with the simplicity of Python. That's the magic. Then practice section. NumPy creation. Okay, let's see how to actually create an array with an NumPy. In Python, we already have something called range. I get number from 0 to 9 from the range. NumPy has something very similar called arrange. That's just NumPy way of saying array range. It gives us a number in a sequence. Then both are doing the same thing. What's the difference? The big difference is that range just to give you a sequence object, not an actual list of number until you loop through it. Whereas NumPy arrange give you actual real numbers. Let me show you. A equal to range of 10. Now I'm printing a A. So the output is range of 0, 10. It's an object. Now we try the same thing in NumPy. First we import NumPy np dot arrange of 10. Singular. Okay, it's returning actual numbers from 0 to 9 in an array. Now the next thing, we can also make array full of zeros and ones. This is very useful when you want to start something with empty data, then you want to fill it later. Now I say how to create it. NP zeros. I want to create in 2, 3 dimension. Sorry, a spelling mistake. Zeros. Yeah. Now we can create same thing in ones as well. 2, 3. Yeah. Now it's part. Now we have to talk about a dimension. That's one important topic that we have to discuss here. Dimension. A one-dimensional array is like a simple list. Okay, this is called a one-dimensional array going on a one line. Whereas a two-dimensional array is like a table row and column structure which has a row and columns. Okay, if you go higher like a 3 dimension, you can imagine a cube of numbers. So dimension is just a shape of your data. Here it is 1 dimension, this is 2 dimension data. Alright, now let's look at some important attribute of NumPy array, n time. Before that, I want to assign this to variable. I'm assigning this to ARR1 and this one I'm assigning this to ARR2. Now we see what would be an ARR1 n time value. It's 1 because which has one single list, that is a one-dimensional array, as I told you earlier. Now what would be the answer for this? Yeah, it's true, it's 2. Now we are going to see shape. Okay, shape is like an n dimension, but it shows count as well. Shape is also for n dimension. Okay, I show you in the list. Now in ARR1 dot shape, which has 10 element in a column. Okay, now arr2 dot shape, which has 2 rows and 3 columns. Yeah, that's how we created this zeros as well. Okay, we created using 2 rows and 3 columns. This is known as shape. Now we go to size. Size is like a length in Python, which give you the total length. Okay, arr1 dot size, which is 10. So for two dimensional array, which is adding all the element, that's it. Next one is d type. That stands for data type. It tells us what kind of number the array is holding. Most probably we use numbers in NumPy, so I am saying NumPy. Numbers, any kind of data. Okay. Now we see arr1 dot d type, which is in 64. Now we are going to see some memory memory attribute. Okay, I want to know memory size of this array. Okay, the element which is holding was all integer, right? So for an integer, what is the memory size? I can get that using arr1 dot item size 8. Defaultly array store data in 64 byte. Now we store it in 32 and check. Which is 4. That's all about today. Thank you for watching.